What's going on YouTube? EarthP0w3R here, bringing you another one of those sped up fun little matches that you guys apparently liked a lot. So, I've got myself versus, you know him, you love him, Swan. He was back this weekend. You guys might have seen the pictures on my Twitter or the team's Twitter, the Team Peach Taco Night, if you will. And we had our draft this Sunday, which I very sadly didn't get any matches from. I believe CVH got one or two, as well as the deck profiles for his deck and Theo Bear's deck. They made it to finals. And then we had ourselves a stream on Friday night, and this is one of the matches from the stream. So if you guys were there, you might recognize this match. It's my Water, Nature, Fire Kindrix deck versus Spencer's Water, Nature, Light Dragon build with Lyras and Flame Spikes and all that fun stuff. So, to get right into the match here, start off with the Nyx. I believe I've got the turn 4 follow-up. Yep, Maelstrom, as he drops his Star Lantern, and I'm not too worried about the Star Lantern. I've got just far too much removal in the deck to just deal with it. But, sadly, before I get a chance to deal with it, he winds up Storm Sparking and destroying my Nyx, and I'm very sad. However, I do have the Reap and Sow, and I believe I've got the Unchained to follow that up with. And I believe I'm also holding Kindrix at this point, so I could very well just drop Kindrix and start going in, but I want to play it a little safe here and drop the Unchained and banish one of the birds. Now, I believe I make one mistake here that ends up costing me, I think, the game in the long run, is that I banish his Lux instead of the Nyx. The Lux I could have left to just deal with whenever. Root Trap is my main form of removal, so I'm not too worried about really what the Lux could do. I should have just banished the Nyx because that's going to wind up netting him, I believe, a +2 before I finally get a chance to get rid of it. And it's just not a good thing. And then he Bronze Arm Tribes there, and it just building up to that mana. I'm fearing either Andromeda, or, I mean, he could have very well just memoried for the Flame Spike, or even another Lyra. Just all threats right now, all things that I just don't want to deal with. So here's the point where I should have dropped Kindrix, and I don't. Because if he had gotten the Flame Spike, I would have been in a very bad position. So I decide to just banish the Bronze Arm Tribe. Again, I leave the Nyx on board, and I drop a Nyx of my own. Next turn, planning on dropping Kindrix and then just going full throttle. And that's what I should do right after this turn. And he winds up, I think he memories into Lyra there, if I'm not mistaken, to drop it with 5 mana off the Nyx. Again, that Nyx just being a pain in my side. I should just drop Kindrix here. But what I'm hoping for is that maybe I can banish the Nyx and then have him either, what I'm thinking is maybe he'll drop like Lux or something like that to drop with his Lyra, or drop just a second Lyra, and he does do that. He actually does drop the Lux, but he drops it with a Flame Spike as well. So now I'm just like, God, I was hoping the Lux would come down so that he bounce with my Unchained, leaving his Lyra there, and that way I can revenge it with Kindrix and have a decent board set up. And just that last turn, too, I really should have just gone in. I had the Unchained, the Maelstrom, and the Nyx, and I don't think he would have been able to destroy all 3 of them. So I would have had all 5 of his shields there, and it's just, with the creatures that I had in hand, I could have just dropped game, and hopefully wouldn't have had removal. But it was just bad plays all around. I'm just not making optimal plays here. Well, thinking that I'm making optimal plays, but then Swan just has, you know, when like there's like a couple of optimal plays and your opponent could have like either or, so you just kind of make I'm just making all the wrong predictions. There we go. We got there. And then there's a Root Trap, so that's just more bad things. Just more things that would have gotten in the way. And Swan now with just a very overwhelming field, 2 Lyra, Lux, and a Flame Spike, and the Granger, just in case I have the Shield Blast. And yeah, it doesn't matter. It just didn't. So that was game 1. Kindrix never got a chance to come down, but it was there. It had potential. I just staring down Flame Spikes and Lyras, and it's just I never had a safe opportunity to drop it. So, moving on to game 2 here. I've got one more match with Swan that I'll be putting up tomorrow. It's a Water Dark Light. Yeah, it's my Water Dark Light Cobalt Control. I don't know, whatever you guys want to call it. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's my Water Dark Light deck versus Swan's Fire Dark Rush. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. But yeah, on the subject of Water Dark Light, Cobalt, or Control, what do you guys... CVH is adamant about just calling it Control now. And I can see where he's coming from, but, I mean, there's just a lot of Water Dark Light variants out there, and I believe that Cobalt kind of, like, I don't know what that symbolizes, I guess, the kind of build that Water Dark Light is, since it runs Cobalt, whereas most either run, like, the Dragon line, or just, like, I don't know, I would think that, like, pure Control would just be something... Maybe more along the lines of the Dragons, but just like something that just runs all Control stuff. But, I don't know. But I'm going to stick to calling it Cobalt for now. I called it Control in the last match because it was CVH's, but I'll probably call mine Cobalt if I ever play it. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if you have any thoughts on the matter. Anyways, we got a match going on. I have a couple of plays. I turn 4 Balua, turn 5, I think Reap and Sow. And then he has Nyx into Lyra, and that's just bad things. So I drop Unchain there to get rid of his Nyx. I'm not about to make the same mistake that I made last time. But then he has double Lyra, and it's just like, I just don't know. He taps down my... because he taps down my Balua, and then... just murders it, because it's just not a good thing. And then he winds up bumping heads with Tatsurion. So, however, I do have the second Tatsurion to follow up with, in hopes that I can just maybe just force him to do the 1-for-1s until I can just drop enough dragons. And I'm really wishing I played Infernus the Awakened right now. That card would just be very nice. But as we all know, Flame Spike is the biggest thing on the face of Kaijudo, and not a lot can do with that. But if I can keep its bait off the board, then we're good to go. Now he's only got one Root Trap left. He's running out of Shield Blast, and I start to notice that. And I think I wind up checking in a turn or two. But I drop Boltail to deal with the Lyra that got tapped. Kind of playing this chess game right now, Rusalka to send back the Lyra to force it down and tap it, in hopes that he'll swing in and kill it. And then I dropped Hyperspeed, and he just had the Lyra, so he taps it, or he had the Storm Spark, so he tapped it down and killed that with Lyra instead. And then I revenge it with Boltail, and he has a Flame Spike, so I guess he won that chess game in the end. But I'm starting to notice that he doesn't have a lot of Shield Blast left, so what I decided to start doing is start building up field, put as many creatures on board as possible, so that I can potentially swing for game. I've got all the pieces in my hand right now. I've got tons of 3-drops, as you see right there, Nyx into Razorhide, and I believe I'm holding a Rusalka and a Heal Flame, and then I think one removal. It might be a Tornado Flame. So all I have to hope for here is that he just doesn't have the one last Root Trap. He's used 2 Root Traps, both Tendrils are down in the mana. 2 Storm Sparks are down, and he's used 1 Storm Spark, so they're all gone. So now I decide to make the play. He double breaks with Flame Spike and hits a Root Trap, so I decide to Root Trap the one creature that could attack. I didn't really see a reason to Root Trap the Granger since I have Rusalka. So, like, the safe play here could be, because I mean, if the one Root Trap is down, then I could just Rusalka back the Lux and then hope to draw removal for the Granger. But I decided to just go for it. It's on stream. I said I might as well. And then break 1 shield. And then there it is. Last Root Trap. So that's about it. And I start beating myself up over not making the safe play. But I mean, it is what it is. I couldn't have known. I mean, I didn't know if I was going to draw the removal. But, you never really can know. So there's that. And then he breaks. And I don't have my last Root Trap. So that's the game. Swan takes it in 2-0 fashion with his Water Nature Light against Water Fire Nature Kindrix. Really like the decks. They're a lot of fun. And I might have a deck profile up for Kindrix a little later, so stay tuned for all that. But yeah, guys, follow us all on Twitter at Western Swan for Spencer, and myself at EarthP0w3R. Follow the team at IMCVH, at Gnarly Gorby, at Thunder Sultan. And stay tuned for more matches. And hopefully, guys, we'll see you next time. Beach.